Seth Rollins just suffered another setback over the weekend, and the timing could not be worse. The injury happened during the high-risk spot with LA Knight. It's the same exact move that put him on the shelf last year and nearly cost him the ability to compete at WrestleMania 40. I think it's time to retire those moves from his arsenal. The timing couldn't be worse because Seth Rollins has been the centerpiece of WWE since WrestleMania, especially after Paul Heyman's shocking betrayal of Roman Reigns and CM Punk. With Seth in the middle of two major storylines involving those names, his absence has forced WWE to completely pivot into new plans. The company already booked a multi-man gauntlet match for SummerSlam to compete for the World Heavyweight Championship. With that said, how long is this injury going to keep Seth Rollins on the sidelines? This is where things get a little confusing, because as we all saw, Seth Rollins immediately called for the match to come to an end after he suffered the injury. There's even been reports stating that Seth Rollins changed the finish of the match. He was initially going to win, but then he decided he wanted LA Knight to win the match after the injury because he might as well give the momentum to LA Knight since he's going to be out of action anyways. We even saw videos posted online with referees and officials helping Seth Rollins to the backstage area. You could even hear Rollins scream in frustration. And then Triple H briefly spoke about the incident in the press conference after Evolution last night, saying this.
I'll just say right now, a little bit inconclusive. Doesn't look good. Get MRI and hope for the best.
None of this sounds good, but now Brian Alvarez and the Wrestling Observer Radio is saying otherwise. He said, "Somebody today told me what happened. They say what is going on is the reason these stories are conflicting is because he is hurt, but what happened on Saturday was a storyline, meaning he is hurt, but he did not get hurt on that spot. That spot was a cover for an injury that he has, which he will have worked on, and they are in Birmingham. So the idea that was suggested is that he will be out of action for a little while, but they're gonna say 9 months or whatever, but he will be back much sooner than that. So actually that would cover every base." This is a wild claim to make, and PW Insider is saying that it's not true. They came out with a new report saying this. "For those who have asked about reports that this is all just some sort of work, it is not, and anyone claiming such is being completely disrespectful to Rollins at this point. As we reported previously, this was not a work, and there was no planned cash-in on Saturday night's main event." The report goes on to say more about Seth Rollins and this injury, saying that there is a lot of fear that Seth Rollins suffered a major injury, but nothing has been confirmed yet. The belief among those within WWE is that they will have a diagnosis on the severity of Seth Rollins' injury within the next few days. He is expected to be in attendance at WWE Raw tonight. I'm going to lean more into PW Insider's report than Brian Alvarez because I think they have a better track record, and logically, it does not make sense. Why would WWE write Seth Rollins off if he's dealing with some sort of leg injury by doing the move that injured him last year? If WWE was doing a simple write-off, I think it would have been a lot more safe than doing that. There's also a tweet floating around from Russell Court saying that he's going to be out of action for 4 to 5 months. This timeline makes sense. It appears to be a serious injury. It's possibly an ACL or MCL tear, and that 4 to 5 months sounds reasonable. It could even go up to 9 months depending on how severe the tear is. The fact that he couldn't finish the match or even walk by himself tells me that this is not a standard meniscus tear that usually heals in 8 weeks. It is much worse, so the 4 to 5 months, maybe even 9, sounds a lot more realistic. It will be interesting to see what WWE does with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Technically, the WWE can keep it on Seth Rollins, and he could cash it in 2026. If they don't want to go down that route, they could tell the story of Paul Heyman forcing Rollins to give it to Braun Breaker, and that could lead to a big breakup down the line when Seth does come back. Another great idea is rebooking the ladder match at SummerSlam in order to find a new winner. Surely, this can be Hunter's chance to finally make LA Knight win that briefcase, but knowing him, he probably wouldn't. With all that said, Seth Rollins does not deserve this. This absolutely sucks. It's a huge blow, not to him, but also the fans and WWE in general. Hopefully, we get good news after he does get that MRI. I'm sure we'll have some update on tonight's episode of Raw, and hopefully his recovery is a lot faster than 4 to 5 months. Anyways, that is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.